Yeah. So welcome to Daniel, I notice. And well, this is a good crowd. Wh- Well, every year, I have to watch the calendar and I say, well, is anybody going to sign up this year? And I'm pleasantly surprised we're getting good signups and we still have almost 3 weeks to go. So awesome. And let's see. I have some slides just in case I need them here. Well, welcome to what we call the International Radar Zoom. We try to have these before the 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 radar rally on first Saturday of April and first Saturday of October. So we're looking forward to April 4th for the radar rally, and it is an international event. So, uh, has everyone seen the short video we have?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. The good news is it's only 3 minutes long. But without hitting the button here, this is the radar diagram, as we call it, and it has just about everything you need to know on on the slide. And I turned this slide over to AI, and it wrote a script. And then I got an AI voice to do it. So uh, that's the video that you can find on YouTube. And I'm going to try to go past this. Okay, well, something that particularly for people doing radar the first time, uh, the exchange varies with who you're talking to. So if you're so lucky to get a radar to radar contact, uh, the exchange is the signal report and the location, which should be a 8-digit grid square. So actually, that's the third bullet. But if you're calling CQ radar and just any uh, station answers, exchange your signal report and location. I think I'm getting lost in my slides, but basically, if you call somebody, they may be doing a QSO party or a contest. You would use their exchange. So you don't have to exchange a grid square with those folks, but we encourage it for radar to radar contacts. Does anybody have a question about the exchange? I think I was getting confused myself. Um, Consider this preliminary, but on FT8, which is a good mode for radar, it's it's hard to it's hard to nail down if you are working a POTA station because POTA stations are 2 points, radar rate to radar is three. But for the convenience of FT8 operators, if you can confirm somehow they were at a POTA site, you can count it as 2 points. And if you can confirm that they're a radar station, uh, uh, you can count it as 3 points. Now, that confirmation may be it won't be with the exchange necessarily. So kind of the honor system. So I'm thinking about revising the rules. Does anyone have any comments about this kind of philosophy here?
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. So really, everything's in the rules, and our rules are at the radarrally.info. And I mentioned that for radar to radar is 3 QSO points, 2 for POTA or SOTA, and um, and for other stations it's 1 point. And there are some bonus points, 2 points per deploy, two 3 points for each non-motorized transition. 2 points per deployment when all contacts are QRP. And then your first intercontinental radar to radar contact is 6 bonus points.
Which I
So
don't think has been done yet, has it?
I think it's been done over history. I
I I got Lucy once, but I wasn't in my
yeah,
4 hour window yet, so that wasn't
yeah.
really radar to radar. I don't know that we've done it
Well, I'm not sure, but I've been doing this for a decade, so there's some things I've forgotten already. And we in previous times we've mentioned Eddie's Logger Spotter, which is awesome, but it it's not available. Um, Eddie's doing some great stuff with his cool logger, but the radar logger, as we knew it in previous rallies, isn't available. Um, for spotting, we might try Discord. So there are little details that will need to get ironed out before the rally. So, um, but a lot of folks are doing POTA, and the POTA.app is a great way to spot your activity. So it really boils down to any which way you can as far as spots, and particularly if you have friends who are chasers, you hopefully can signal them somehow.
Um, just to interrupt you a sec,
Yep.
Greg. Anyone here have a Slack app on their phone? Anyone do Slack? So Scott does. That's about it. Because I've got a Slack account. I could put a channel for that. Sorry, I didn't have my screen full. Is there anyone else with Slack? No. So
Well, I
I
find
thought it
that
might be more popular than Discord, but
I
you know,
don't know. I don't
I
know.
don't.
Uh, it- well, I can't see the folks back there, but shout out if you've used Discord or would be willing to use it. Any takers for Discord? If you
Yeah,
haven't, you
happy to use Discord.
okay. I've
The
used
next
it.
one of me by the sounds of it.
I've used it with other ham radio activities, and it's worked out pretty well. But I'm not a huge Discord fan. I don't use it all the time.
I understand now they want proof of age or something like that, don't they?
Well, they did, and that was
Did
yeah,
that
it wanted
happen?
me to put in my birthday. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's all you got to put. Just give them a number. You don't have to give them a driver's license or anything.
no.
Okay.
All right. Well, most of the folks join us have already registered. Uh, this is from the website, and it gives you the information that I'd like to get. Actually, this is more, well, I take this back. This slide it's very similar to the registration information, but for reporting, you can add your radar to radar QSOs, the number of those, the number of POTA, SOTA QSOs, other QSOs, the number of deployments, and bonus points. I would like to get your 8-digit grid squares for your deployments. But so what I can do is make a spreadsheet, just put some more columns on our registration spreadsheet, put those numeric values in, and then we can calculate a score. So that's probably how we're going to do it. And I've had a couple more since this, but this is our registration has got going, and we have almost 3 weeks left. And with that, all right. Well, that wasn't so smooth, but I encourage everybody to join our radargroups.io. And if there's any late breaking information, I'll get it out before we do the rally. Does that sound good?
Yeah, great. Quick question.
Yeah.
For POTA, does either station have to be in a park or?
Well, the 2 points is for the other station being in the park.
Okay. Okay, got it.
Yeah, that's a subtlety. Yeah.
Greg, I have a question about the UTC. When does that start? When you leave your home or when you arrive at your first site?
Uh, with your first contact,
Okay.
and that may not be in the rules, but
That's the way we've always done it, and that helps
yeah,
quite a bit because setting up the first time can
yeah.
be slow.
Well, your first setup is kind of free as far as the time goes.
Yeah.
That brings up another question.
Okay.
When we do POTA, you're probably familiar with POTA rows when you're trying to hit like 5 parks at once or whatever. A lot of guys just stick a ham sticker in their car. They go to
Yeah.
the park, they get their QSOs, and they just fire it, never get out of the car or nothing. That's not what we're doing, correct?
Well,
Uh,
it's up to
you,
you.
you can.
It
It's
it it's within the rules to do that.
6 kilometer travelable.
Now,
Yeah.
you may, well, I'm going to be walking, but Ken, in Enterprise, it works out best for him to do it from his vehicle at local parks, right, Ken?
Right, right, yeah. My sit down is basically putting the antenna up and down.
So, so the answer is we encourage, uh, uh, on foot, on a bike. Chris does a canoe, uh, but if the best thing for you is to do it from a vehicle, you can. So, and
I did last April from a vehicle, my snowmobile, only because
okay, well,
it was brand new and I wanted to go play with it. That's why.
yeah. Well, actually, there are bicycles which are human powered, and then there are snowmobiles and e-bikes and so forth. So we embrace it all, and you can even do a combination. But I think uh, uh, most of us are inspired to do it um, um, with various vehicles. And Sherry from Arkansas has joined us, and it looks like she does it from a recumbent bike. Are you?
Yeah,
Can you?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
tell us how you move around.
Well, last time I went to our tractor club showgrounds and I walked. I drove up there and I walked. And I I had it was a really it was to be honest with you, Greg, it was the best radar rally I've had I think since I started this. If that makes any sense. Uh, I made 7 contacts. I started out going to use my buddy pole, and for some reason it wouldn't tune. And I had brought another antenna with me. I had a CHA F loop, one of the old CHA F loops. You can do 15 watts. And I set it up and everything, and I did 15 watts. And I see who was the first guy I talked to. He was doing it was a radar to radar contact. I want to say his name was Greg. Does that sound right?
Yeah, there's a Greg in California that,
Yes, and I
yeah,
was talking to him, and he came on there, and I was on 10 meters, and I talked to him first, and then I talked to, on that loop, sitting on a picnic table, I talked to Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and I forget where else I talked to. Almost, or 5 of those 7 contacts were POTUS. And I wasn't doing a POTA. They were doing the POTA. And I
right.
talked to them. And I thought that was pretty good for 15 watts and my antenna setting on a picnic table.
It is. It's awesome.
It was great. And I really, to be honest with you, I could have stayed longer than the 4 hours because 10 meters was wide open.
Mm.
I mean, wide open that day. And it was just amazing. Like I said, I had more fun. I really did. That was so much fun. And this time I have I use my 857, but this time I have a different radio. I have a smaller, more compact radio. It's not QRP. I have a G90. My husband bought me that for Christmas. And I was absolutely floored. I couldn't believe it. It was just, he says, I got one more thing for you. I thought, okay, He takes me in, opens up this tub. He put it in because he had a hit in a tub, and he opens this plastic tub up, and there it is in there. And I couldn't believe it. That, and he bought me an antenna. And I've got to use the radio winter field day, and I got to use the antenna the other day. I tried it out. I talked to Puerto Rico and California. And that antenna was the HF9, HF009 that Radio Oddity has.
Yeah.
And that thing total from ground to the top of it was probably 8 foot tall. And it was amazing. I had a blast. Just the two or three contacts I made just trying it out was awesome. And I had more fun. I hope this one
Well,
is as good as the last one was. But anyway, I'll shut up and let you guys talk too.
no.
Probably talk
Well,
too long.
that's what we're looking for.
But it was fun. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Well, I hope you have good weather and a good
I hope
outing
you do
this year.
too.
Yeah.
Last year in November wasn't bad at all. It was in the 50s. Wasn't bad. And then a year ago, April, it rained. I mean, it just poured, and I was afraid to go out. Not because I get wet necessarily, but I was afraid to go out because our showgrounds get they're grass, but they get muddy, and I didn't want to make any ruts, so I didn't go. So I'm hoping this year the weather's better. But anyway, and so I'm hoping it's a lot better this year. But anyway, I'll
Yeah.
pass it
Well,
back to you.
thanks so much for joining us. Awesome.
I'm glad I remembered because half the time I forget
Yeah.
and it just slips my mind. And today I'm like, oh yeah.
Well, on the mag loop, that's going to be my primary antenna this year. And it has been there's 2 rallies a year, but so I'm a big loop believer. Now, Ian, what are your favorite antennas and that you might be using for radar?
So for radar last year and probably again this year, I'll probably use the JPC-12. I'm not sure if it's a real JPC-12 or a AliExpress knockoff JPC-12, but
Work.
it's a loaded vertical with ground radials, and it comes apart in sort of 7 sections, I think, plus the radials. But when I was hiking around for radar last year, I took it apart into 4 sections and just stashed it in my bag in 4 different bits.
Right.
So I got my time to set up and pack down to about 2 to 3 minutes with that.
Well,
With the only problem is all the ground radials and the coax just end up tangled in a mess after about 3 or 4 setups. So, but apart from that, yeah, that worked really well.
Yeah, I go
just
2 radials, and I find that a good compromise between making a mess and getting it out quickly.
yeah.
What power are you running, Ian? Are you running QRP?
I did 100 watts last time. Probably do the same again this time.
Yeah, I'm going 100 watts also. Craig's QRP, I think. As is Ken.
well, actually, I may be 20 points, which won't really qualify. Not
20
points,
watts.
but 20
20
watts. Doesn't quite qualify for QRP, but
Ian, what time of day are you going to start? Because I might listen to you from home before I take off. It's pretty early in the morning for me.
So yeah, I was thinking of starting about 1300 UTC, which is 1400 for me. I don't know what time zone you are, but yeah, could be quite early morning for you, I guess.
Yeah. What time UTC again?
1300.
So that would be 10 in the morning Central, Craig?
no.
Or 5 hours or 6 hours out now?
Well, with daylight, it's 5, I believe.
Yeah.
It's so complicated, isn't it? Well,
So that'd be 11 in the morning for us. No, you said 1200 UTC.
no,
1300 is my
1300.
Minus 5. Yeah, that'd be 10 a.m. No, it wouldn't be.
No, it won't.
No.
I-
8 a.m.
8 a.m. Yeah.
Central. Yeah.
Central, 4 a.m. for us.
Yeah.
4 yeah.
But you got to add one from Central for us.
I get so confused. I have to ask Copilot to straighten these things out.
It would be 8 a.m. You're right. Well, I'm going to look for you from home with a beam. I won't be radar at 8 a.m., but still it'd be fun to catch you. Gosh, I wish that Eddie's logger system was going up, because that was a fine way of figuring out what band and frequency people are on. Yeah, we'll have to figure out some kind of a system there, Greg. I don't know how we can do it.
Well, the biggest challenge really is spotting. So I haven't found quite the perfect solution that everybody's on board with. Eddie's was a great step in that direction.
Yeah, that worked really well.
Yeah.
I taught Ken and you with it last year. Ian, are you in a POTA? Are you going to be self-spotting on POTA by any chance, Ian?
Well, yeah, it's just easiest to use that for spotting and for.
Well, that would work then. I'll just sign on to that
quickly.
and keep an eye out for you. Excellent.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of people are going to be at POTA parks. I plan to be at one. So
I am too. Maybe we should just go to that for where we are.
well, it's not universal for everybody, but it will work for. Well, other people can look at it even if they're not POTA.
I have a cell phone now, Greg.
So, wow, you're you're a role model.
I've stepped up to the 90s.
Oh man. Well, that's a good point. You don't have to be you can get to the POTA spotting information even if you're not in a park. So if you want to know where Chris is, then you can look at his, or Ian and so forth. You can look at their POTA spots, which is a great system.
Well, you guys, if you know, if you're looking for a particular person, you could go on Ham Alert. You'd be right there.
Right, I use that.
Yeah, if you're digital or CW, if you're on phone, that doesn't work so well though.
Uh,
Or
I'm
can you
going to
post?
put everybody in my Ham Alert.
Can you
Yeah.
post yourself on Ham Alert, Tom?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that would work
Oh,
too,
wait.
then, wouldn't it?
Well, I don't
I
know
thought it's
about
just
that.
Now you got to put your triggers in for other people. I don't think.
yeah. I think it's just
Yeah.
listening stations, and they don't really you can't decode phone very well. I found that when I'm on digital, I get people get alerted to me all the time, but when I'm on phone, they nothing happens. And Ian, I
Well,
imagine you're going to be on phone, right, Ian? On SFB voice.
Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
so Ham Alert does take spots from POTA and SOTA and things. So you will get POTA spots through that as well.
Oh,
Um,
oh, that's right.
the only problem is if you're not a POTA park and not spotting, you might have to ask someone to spot for you or put you on a cluster or something, so the alert goes out through Ham Alert. But it does take spots from POTA dot.
My cell coverage is iffy where I am, but I think about half the locations will be. If I
Yeah.
hold it up, if I hold it up real high, I might get in.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to jump way back. Tom mentioned that he and his group were going to see how many POTA parks they could do. Is that right, Tom?
Well, not necessarily POTA park, but that's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
But you know, a lot of the guys are POTA people. Jack, right below me, I don't know where your screen shows him, but he's one of the POTA guys. And
Yeah. Of course, you don't have to be POTA. It may be an advantage, but you don't have to be. And sometimes I just do it my neighborhood, you know.
Is Tom and Jack, are you guys traveling together by any chance?
not haven't
No,
planned that
not
yet.
really.
No, but we're in the same club. That's our association.
That'd be fun going with someone
Yeah.
else. Just take turns.
Thought about that, but then of course, if one person gets to 5 QSOs, then you have to wait for the other.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we have had team radar where the two people go along and one is the radar operator and the other is a team member. Now, Eddie posted something in the chat that I missed. Okay. Well, Eddie's going to have some information for us. I'll have to look at the chat.
Also, the cool is working. So we could use the cool. I don't think I have used it yet, but oh. Well, that's an idea too.
Well, that's still an option. Well, Eddie always comes through for us. Yep. Well, I mentioned, and for Sherry's benefit, we may have, well, I've always had this way of reporting that you can list the number of contacts, the number of deployments, and so forth. And we'll make a spreadsheet similar to the registration spreadsheet and post the scores that way. So it's going to all work out. So for most of us, it's not so much about the score anyway, but yeah. Well, Tom, for portable operating, what kind of equipment are you looking at for radar style?
I'll probably, well, Jack also has a G90, but I'll probably do 891, FT 891 at 50 watts
Got a yes shoot 57.
side sideband. And I'll probably use, I don't know, Sherry mentioned that contact in California from Greg. I don't know if it was Greg Meeran or not, the antenna guy, but that's the antenna I'll be using, the Performer antenna. And it's basically a raised telescoping radio or element with elevated radial. So it's like 5 minutes up and down. It's pretty quick.
Well, that's just essentially what Chris does.
Yeah.
He's a big believer in that. I don't have anything against it. It seems like Ian may use a vertical too, so. And
Yeah, I definitely find it easier to lay out a few radials than to try and get a whole wire antenna up in the air by myself. So yeah,
right.
works well for me.
And some places don't like you using their trees.
Yeah. National parks, some of them. Well, Daniel, welcome, and would you tell us a little bit about what you have in mind, or? And where you're located? Of course, you'll have to unmute and activate your mic, but if so, if you like to use it, that's fine. Yeah. Well, Tom, there is, I think it's a rover award for POTA, and it used to be a radar award, but you know they revised things and kind of took radar out of it. But I think the different levels are like cheetah and warthog and so forth are still
Increments
in
of
there.
5. Increments of 5.
Yeah. So anyway, if you go between POTA parks, you check out the Rover Award. I'm not sure if it's automatic or not. I don't remember.
Yeah, it's automatic once you upload your log.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, any anyone else want to share about what they have in mind? Is just optional here.
I've got a question for Eddie actually, and
All right.
sorry, I know he doesn't have a mic or anything, but just looking at that cool, and you need a PIN number. I've got no idea what my PIN was on the old system. I'm sure it's not valid for the cool logger anyhow, but an email to Eddie to ask for a PIN number, is that correct? Or Greg, maybe you know the answer to that.
I'd say so.
And Eddie's email is what? Do you remember it? I probably got it buried somewhere.
I have it somewhere.
Yeah. If I can't find it, I'll let you know. Because the cool logger might be an option for us.
Right. Well, we've got a little time where I can confer with Eddie a little further, and then we'll, I think the rules need a little tweaking because I'm still talking about the previous logger on the rules. So check the rules and the groups.io, as we get closer. and we may have hatched out some more details about that.
Yeah, I was just thinking about using the, oh, here you've got it. There's an admin button. Access to the pin request page on the Cool is at www.radarops.co.ca. There you go. Answered my question. Thank you, Eddie. I was just thinking the registering on the POTA, a good idea, except for the problem is we're going to be there for 5 contacts. And especially
Well,
if you're in a park that's not too well done, and you make your 5 contacts and then take off, like in Tom and Jack's situation, where they're going to another park
I
in
know.
10 minutes, are they going to get people angry at them? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Well, not really, because a lot of times, like if you're working QRP, 90% of people don't hear you anyhow, you know.
Yeah,
So
I guess.
yeah, they go to your spot and they don't hear you, so they just
yeah, it it's a consideration. Now,
Mm-hmm.
uh, well, I agree with Tom. When I'm QRP, sometimes, it's not like in the early days, it seemed like I get 100 replies in a pileup, but lately, not so much when I'm on QRP. But well, when you spot yourself on POTA, you can make a note.
Did you've left?
Well, you can make a note on your spot that I'm looking for 5 contacts for radar, and
Oh,
and
okay.
if you're gonna get back on, you can say I'll be on and off, something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, give
once
them
you
a
get to the new park, you can respot yourself at the new park.
right.
right, right.
I'll be in one park, but it's a big park, so I'm going to go from place to place, but still be in the same park.
Yeah.
So I could just say, like you said, on again, off again, just let people know.
Well, it's always good to put, radar in there in any case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, want to get that word out there.
Advertise.
Well, and that will help people look, that, yes, that will help.
Just just out of curiosity, how many locations have people been doing with this rally?
Well,
Us normal people or Ian?
yeah, there,
What's a range?
Four is a good walk. Five's a very good walk.
well,
Ian
it,
did what did you do, Ian? 8, 7,
I did 8, yeah. I
8.
only just squeezed it in time, and it was,
That's
yeah, a fair
yeah,
amount of planning of exactly how long I get to on each station, and that was involved.
yeah,
But
eight.
yeah, I think
Eight is
I'll
well,
plan it
bordering
a
on
bit less
superhuman.
exactly this year. I won't,
well,
I won't push myself to 8 this year. We'll see how it goes.
well, someone new to this and maybe new to portable operating, they may only have one, but
Yeah.
hopefully you get an opportunity to move to your next one and get 2. And like Chris is talking, I've done it for a number of years and kind of, if I get 3, let's see, yeah, if I get 3, um, well, I'm really happy with 4. Let's put it that way. And if I get 3, sometimes it works out that way. And if I get, well, if you think of smiley faces, if I get 5, it's a big smiley face. So I think 5's the most I've done. So usually I'm 3, 4, or 5.
I
But
should qualify that I'm 100 watts, so that my 5 is like Greg's 3. It's piling quick.
yeah. Now I've done 100 watts before, at the low spot of the sunspot cycle or the bottom of the cycle. Yeah. And
I,
I,
I've done some roving park to park, and I think the most I've ever done is like 3 parks in one day, but that was pretty much all day long, because there are
yeah,
miles between parks.
What kind of distance between the parks, Chuck?
Um, Could be like 15, 20 miles.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
So-
Well,
You know what you could do is find two parks that are like really close together, just go back and
yeah.
forth. Or what I did once, and when I was with my son in Ottawa, I found a half a kilometer long park. I walked to the end of it and back, did my five contacts, and then to the end of it and back, did five more.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Tom's already got his route laid out.
No, it's funny that I tried to do a 10 park row for POTA, and I went to Long Island, New York, and that strip of islands, there's like 8 parks, only like 2 minutes drive between each park. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah. The Gulf Coast down I have a house in Panama City, Florida, and along the Gulf Coast there, uh, there's a park every 5 miles, it seems like. And uh, one year it was raining, but we drove between the parks, and I'm pretty sure we did four, and then we continued on to the fifth park. So it's fun. Well, I enjoy the motion part of radar. You know, uh, that's kind of that's the unique part of radar is getting contacts when you need them, and then bugging out. You know, so I like
And
the
being in a park sure helps a lot.
Apoda Park.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You throw out that park to park and it's just like you got them.
awesome. Well, Eddie, there's still excitement for radar. Uh, Radar is probably 20 years old, so only Eddie would know. Eddie, how old is? When was the first radar? If you're,
Wait, well, while we're waiting, oh, we're 2007. Yeah. So next
uh-huh,
year will be a 20th anniversary.
yeah, 20th anniversary radar.
Have you heard from Lucy at all in England? Chris?
Not lately. I was hoping we'd snag her, but we got some time for more folks to sound out.
And our friend in Norway that we can't pronounce his name, what any word from him?
No word this time. Yeah, Ian, Lucy, and I forget her call, is in the UK, and she's done radars in the past, and it's usually terrible weather for her. So
She's near the ocean and she did it in a gale force wind one time. And I got up in the morning and with my beam, I could actually made a contact with her and I could hear the wind blowing in her mic. It was just unbelievable.
yeah,
It about blew her over.
Yeah. Well, hopefully she'll join in this time. At least the
Yeah.
time zone will line up, hopefully, so we can get each other in the log, hopefully.
Yeah, although that unless you're really close, it's not probably not going to work for you two, is it? I don't know where she is, you know,
True,
Greg?
that way.
yeah. Actually, one year we had 3 stations in Ireland. Uh, it was like a club, and so we've had folks from Ireland participate in the past. Well, maybe we'll get everybody, you know, this time, and if not this time for the 20th, yeah. Well, I don't want to tie up everybody's afternoon. Yep, shack in a sack. Well, Eddie has a QSO today. Um, where he talks about some of the history of radar, I'm sure. And Eddie's friends in South Africa have participated, well, obviously way before I ever did in radar.
Oh, so Daniel is signing off.
All right. Well, I don't want to hold up everybody on your Sunday, and I'm really impressed with the turnout here on Zoom. And if there will get the word out on smoothing out any of these little issues about spotting and logging. And everybody have a great radar. And hopefully we'll get some radar to radar contacts. I mean, that is the ultimate. And we're always looking for the reports any way you can. Give us a report, and videos are awesome, so forth. So I'll say good R to R, radar to radar. All right. Okay. See you on the air.
Thanks, Greg.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Greg.
Bye,
You're
Greg.
welcome.
Thank you, Greg.
Bye, Sherry, Ian.
Bye, everybody.
Bye bye, everybody. 73. All right. Everybody's gone.